Do you shoot does early in the season? Or do you wait till later in the season? Or do you not shoot does at all? Let me know your doe hunting strategy, if any, in the comments. On this episode of Death by Bunjie, Bunjie and I set out to get a doe on the opening day of the Pennsylvania Crossbow season. Bunjie and I have no objection to shooting does, not during the Pennsylvania Crossbow season, which is the archery season here in Pennsylvania, not during the rifle season, that 2-week period where we can also hunt with a crossbow, and that's why I call it the second crossbow season, and not during the late season either. We don't mind shooting does. In fact, that is our strategy much of the time. We are blessed here in the Kingdom of Bunjie, here in northeastern Pennsylvania, to have on the property where I grew up a 100-year-old apple tree. Now, is it really 100 years old? I don't know, but I do suspect it was around back when my great-grandfather owned this same property. Now, this 100-year-old apple tree only drops apples every other year. Looking back, I was successful with a crossbow, successful shooting a doe in front of that apple tree in 2011, 2013, 2015, and now in 2017, Bunjie and I, we're going to take another shot. Down the road, I'm going to do another video. I know I say this an awful lot here on this channel, but I'm going to do another video down the road here, hopefully very soon, about whether we should shoot does. Should you shoot does off of your property? One of the reasons that you might want to consider shooting does is depends on your food and your buck-to-doe ratio, all that sort of thing. Some people, for some reasons, there's good reasons why you might prefer to shoot mature does. There's good reasons why other people might prefer to shoot fawns or yearling does, younger does. And that's totally up to you and your management plan. Deer love apples. I've said that before here on Death by Bunjie, and there is nothing more true. Deer love apples. They come out in the middle of the day to hit apples under that apple tree. They may not be the most appealing apples in the world to you or me or to people in a supermarket, but to deer, they are perfect. They're golf ball sized, maybe a little bit bigger, just nice bite-sized apples for deer. They're a nice sweet treat for them right in the middle of the day, right as the fall is hitting, right as they're ready to bulk up for the winter. And deer come out, like I said, they will come out during the daytime to look for apples. They'll come out in the middle of the day. All times of day, these apples are an attractant to deer. Now, going back to 2011, 2013, when I had hunted there before, this was a little bit of a clearing. In fact, at one point, I tried putting in a nice little food plot there in that little clearing next to the apple tree, a great spot for a food plot. I stopped doing that, however, because it started to look too cleared out. I thought that might be discouraging to deer. Deer might want more security, they may want thicker cover, and for that reason, I let it grow up a little bit to encourage deer to come in there. In addition to that, Genevieve and I planted 8 other trees in that area. We have a whole selection of other apple trees that someday will help supplement the 100-year-old apple tree, and eventually, when that apple tree is no longer with us, they'll take its place and give us great shot opportunities right there in that same spot. Now, the 37 days of awesome is upon us at this point. Bunjie and I set out there on the opening day of the crossbow season here in Pennsylvania, set out under that apple tree, and it was a perfect day to sit there. Got in there an hour before daylight, set up the camera, set up the crossbow. We didn't have to wait very long. Bunjie and I are all set up, we're waiting, and before long I heard leaves crunching, before long I heard branches, and I could tell that there were deer coming to our apple tree. The 100-year-old apple tree was working again. I could see them all coming toward us. 7 does coming our way. I am excited. Bunjie's excited, and we're going to wait for the right shot opportunity. The funny thing about this is there are so many deer coming in all at once that I actually had to wait for some deer to get out of the way. I couldn't take a shot because there was another deer behind the deer that I may want to take a shot at. So I had to wait a couple of seconds, wait a little bit, just to make sure that we had the proper shot. I didn't have to wait very long, and that shot presented itself. Now here we are again, just like 2 years ago, Halloween. I shot a doe, spined her, had to go out into the food plot and kill that doe with my bare hands with my hunting knife, and it was the only option I had because the crossbow was misfiring. Here I didn't have to go quite to that extent, didn't have that problem. The crossbow was performing fine. I don't know why the shot went high. The deer was maybe a little bit closer than I thought, but only by a few yards at most. Also, I had sighted it in since I came back from Maryland earlier for the early crossbow season. When I came back, as I always do, I sighted it in before this hunt as well. So I'm not sure exactly what the problem was there, but the shot went high and that deer was still laying there and was not going to leave the vicinity of that apple tree. So this hunt didn't work out exactly as I had hoped, but we still got a great shot on a huge doe, and I could not be happier. This is a great start to the Pennsylvania crossbow season, what I like to call the 37 days of awesome. A great way to recover from Maryland. If you remember, while I was down there, I actually lost a buck in Maryland this year. Did another video about that. Had a great time in Maryland, but a very disappointing outcome in the end. And we've worked to sort of correct the problems, and I thought that this might not be a problem this time, waiting for the perfect shot, all that sort of thing. Still had a little bit of a bad shot here. Didn't have a problem in the end. The deer was still recovered very easily, and it is going to be a great source of mountain beef for the upcoming winter, that's for sure. So again, let me know in the comments, do you shoot does or don't you? Do you shoot them in the early seasons? Do you shoot them just in the late seasons? Or do you shoot them all year long when the shot presents itself? Let me know in the comments. Also, make sure you subscribe because I've got another hunt to share with you very soon here and a long list of other great videos that I look forward to sharing with you. So make sure that you subscribe. Like the Facebook page if you haven't done so already, because on there I'm sharing updates regularly too. And until next time, all hail Bunjie!
The second state is #1.